Hi, it's Monica. You might have noticed I haven't been making YouTube videos lately, and I wanted to make a video just to share an update, but also to share some valuable information that I really feel needs to be put out there, and it is out there now, but I want it to be an example of that because this is stuff that I feel is important that everybody know. If you watched my last video, which I put out about a year ago, you heard that I was ill, that I had moved to Oregon and was kind of creating a more grounded life, and I suddenly became ill. I don't think I got too much in detail into that, but I need to get into that because this is why this video is important. I had a minor infection when I was in Portland, so I took these antibiotics called Cipro, or it's called ciprofloxacin, I believe that's what you call it. And I took only 3 doses, and then I noticed that I started to feel very strange and very awkward, and something didn't feel right. So I looked at the warnings of it, and I started to get a lot of the symptoms that were on there. So I ended up in the hospital because obviously something wasn't right. The interesting thing is that I remember telling the doctor that that I had taken these antibiotics and that I was getting a lot of the symptoms, like an allergic reaction or like just the warning signs. And they didn't really look too much into it. So I went back home. I think they gave me new ones, but I ended up going back home. Well, in the next few days, my health went from being pretty healthy to like really, really, really sick. I ended up in the hospital about 5 times in the emergency room because I was not well at all. And the one thing that was really challenging and just really, it would make me upset was that I would tell all the doctors that I went to see that I took these antibiotics, but none of them would look into like understanding like why, what was this medication doing to me, or like really going into digging deeply into learning more about that medication. Also too, like there were some people that I felt like I could feel, because I'm really sensitive, I could feel that they didn't believe the symptoms that I had. So here's the thing, in the spiritual community, there's the idea that you create your reality. And there's some people that I feel don't really understand, think that when you get sick, that you made yourself sick. And I don't necessarily agree with that, okay? Because I had a pretty healthy lifestyle, and I was really active. So, and also like I have been working on myself for a few years now. And like really digging deep to resolve, traumas or whatever, programming and stuff. So I wasn't perfect, but I'm just saying, like, there was no reason why, I had to get as sick as that. It was difficult because there were certain people that I could feel that didn't believe me when I told them that I was sick. Like, they thought I was releasing, they thought, that I was experiencing too much stress, or that I was dealing with post-traumatic stuff, or that that I was sabotaging myself, like all these different things that they were telling me that I was doing, and yet none of that resonated with me. It didn't feel right, and to a certain point, I did feel really alone, because it was really hard to be in a space where I felt so sick, and I felt like my life was just crashing, like just in front of me, and nobody understood what the heck it felt like. So some of the symptoms that I experienced from this medication, because now I know it was this medication, it wasn't me. So this medication causes your muscles to weaken, and it causes your nerves. It causes damage on your nerves. It causes damage on your stomach. It causes nightmares, so psychological symptoms as well. And I feel like there's a lot of other symptoms, which if you want to know, you can look it up. But those are a lot of the things some of the symptoms that I experienced. And even if you go on YouTube, you'll find videos of people who've taken this medication and they got really sick. And the symptoms that they share, a lot of them are the same thing that I experienced. Also, I know of 2 other friends that have also taken this medication and they had similar symptoms, okay? So the fact that doctors don't know this, or they do know it, but they don't tell us, I don't think that's okay. because this medication is not good for people. I mean, okay, so here's the thing. With Cipro, apparently I think it's called black boxed, which means that it's a really toxic drug. It's a toxic drug that you should only take if it's life or death. You should not take it for minor infections or for anything else, because it will destroy your body. And I only took three doses. So imagine if I would have taken the whole course, I would have been dead by now. So I'm making this video to let you know what, this medication and a lot of antibiotics, like what they do to your body. And I'm an example of that, because I was so sick, like I couldn't, let's just put it this way, I had to be on a wheelchair for a while, okay, that I couldn't walk around by myself. And I ended up going to a gastroenterologist, and my stomach and my esophagus was really damaged. Like they were really damaged. My doctor thought that it was because of too much stress, but okay, I know I was stressed out, but it wasn't that bad, okay? So now I know it was a medication that was basically eating up my stomach and my esophagus. It took about, let's say, about 6 months or so, or a few less than that, for me to be able to, start walking again and to start doing the things little by little that I normally would do. Like before, I used to, I'm a professional dancer. I used to teach dance classes. I used to be really active. And it took several months to get back to even working. Like I had to drop everything. Like I had to drop my jobs. I had to drop everything and, just focus on healing. And it was a really, really difficult time that I do not wish on anybody, because it honestly did feel like I went to hell and back. So I do not recommend that you take this medication. There's other medication that you have to be careful that kind of falls into the same as this medication. I don't know the names right now, but I suggest that you do your research. I also found an article recently of a person who worked for the pharmaceutical industry, and she said that a lot of their job is to basically try to sell medication to doctors, that they don't tell all the symptoms to doctors. So I basically got to a point where like, I don't feel like I can trust the medication that I'm giving. Like I'm going to do my research from now, and if they give me medication, I'm going to look up the symptoms. I'm going to look everything I can up. And you should do this too. Like if you find symptoms that you think are kind of red flags, go back to your doctor and say, hey, I want something that's less strong, or, that's not going to do this to my body. Because I almost freaking died from this, and I don't wish that on anybody. It was a really difficult time, and I'm really grateful to, be back at least where I am right now. I'm still healing. Like it's been a year already, and my stomach and my esophagus are still healing. I still have to watch what I eat. I have to watch my stress levels. But as far as like everything else, like my muscles and everything, I finally have my muscles, like my strength back. Like before it was at the point where like I couldn't even move this part of my arms. Like it felt like really heavy, and my stomach felt really heavy too. And when I would sleep, it would feel like there was like concrete on top of me. Like I couldn't get up, and it wasn't paralysis or anything. It just felt like I was sinking into the floor. It also caused a lot of problems with my breathing and my lungs. One thing too, like I was vegetarian at that time, and there were certain people that thought that I was sick, that I became sick because I was vegetarian. And now I know for a fact that it wasn't none of that. It wasn't stress. It wasn't because of the diet that I had. It wasn't post-traumatic stress disorder. It wasn't any psychological nothing. It was this medication that caused me to get sick. So this is why I'm making this video, just to let you know, be really careful the medication you take. Do your research, investigate. Don't just take it because the doctor gives it to you, all right? Do your own research. You got to be your own doctor and take control of your health. Don't just give it up to somebody to fix you, because you can end up like I did, and I don't wish that for you. Or even worse, like you just don't want to go through that. It really sucked. So this is why I wanted to make this video. If you have any questions, I don't have all the answers because I'm still doing research on this medication, on Cipro. But if you have any questions, you're welcome to email me through YouTube. But I suggest you do your research and you check out other videos of other people that have experienced this. And if you've experienced these symptoms with antibiotics and stuff, I welcome you to share under the video, because this information is going to be valuable to other people that might either take this medication or have taken it, because it does feel like you're by yourself when you're going through it, and you feel like you're going through it by yourself. So to know that other people have gone through it and that you're not crazy, that you're not making anything up, like it feels, you know, like it feels really supportive. So I really highly suggest that you share, you know, your experience below. So thank you for watching, and I don't know when I'm gonna make my next video, but because I'm still kind of taking some time off from putting myself out there as much. But when I do, I will see you then, okay? Have an awesome day. Bye.